Hello, today I would like to discuss and compare the business models of the traditional circus, Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus in particular, and Circus du Soleil. Within this presentation, I will walk through the key similarities and, more importantly, the key differences that make these forms of entertainment vastly unique. For anyone who has attended a Circus du Soleil performance, as well as traditional circus, you will see there's a big difference in the content and atmosphere. Ultimately, I believe their core business model is the same, since they are both operating in the entertainment sector and the primary attraction to their customers is performance art. The business model follows suit with Broadway show productions and musicians who give live performances to fans who purchase tickets. I would even consider the WWF also to be in the same arena regarding business model. All of these different businesses mentioned do different activities, target different customers, and ultimately create completely different outcomes and value propositions. The traditional circus and Circus du Soleil is no different. Let's walk through the business model canvas for these organizations. Key partners. Let's discuss the business relationships that support their operation. The traditional circus, like Ringling Brothers, has to have strong partnerships with concession vendors to provide the food, candy, popcorn, hot dogs, and snacks, as well as those vendors who produce all the souvenir, light-up gadgets that are sold during the performances. Because the traditional circus has lots of large exotic animals within the show, they also need strong partnerships with veterinarians and animal feed suppliers. Transportation services like the rail lines will be needed to transport the performers and animals to the different locations across the country. Circus du Soleil has different key relationships. Since the Circus du Soleil runs year-round shows, they need to partner with large, influential vendors to host their production locations. These venues are typically casinos and major hotels and tourist hotspots like Las Vegas, Orlando, Florida, and the Riviera Maya in Mexico. These cities are major hubs for those looking for performance entertainment, and the hotels benefit by the draw they get when customers come to their hotels to see the performances. A win-win for all. Also, tight and close partnerships with ticket agencies like Ticketmaster is important for Circus du Soleil to pre-sell their shows and tickets and manage the attendance across multiple venues and performances simultaneously. These ticketing agencies are the first interaction with the show the customers experience. So a streamlined experience and smooth purchase is important for Circus du Soleil. Key activities. Let's dive into the similarities and differences of what these organizations do. As earlier discussed, due to the nature of performance entertainment industry, they both need to search for talent. They need to promote their shows through advertisements and marketing. The performers and stage workers need to practice and train for the shows. And ultimately, their hard work culminates with a live performance. There are some differences. Since the Circus du Soleil model eliminated animal performances, and they are not a traveling circus, they do not need to take some of the same activities as traditional circus, which will need to train and care for animal performers. The Ringling Brothers in Circus has to manage the logistics of also traveling throughout the country, setting up and breaking down of their show city after city. Then the performance itself differs because it has multiple stages and star performers. In the Circus du Soleil model, there's only a single performance stage. Value proposition. These organizations offer unique value to their customers. The Circus du Soleil provides a night of luxury for their clientele. Within the high-end vendors, the atmosphere brings with it a special perk. Since they are running different shows in multiple locations, the customers receive a unique experience every time they attend. The choice to not include animals is a benefit for those who are socially aware and concerned with the negative stigmas of animal mistreatment. And most importantly, the viewing of the artistic, stylized theme performances that has great music and cultural relevance. Now, the traditional circus offers something great as well. It's all about entertainment for the children, providing them with the thrill, chills, and humor, and clowns and tricks. The animal performances show off the physicality and mental strength of exotic and common animals. The performances were interesting, and it allowed the interaction with various colorful vendors. Customers can watch a show and feast on treats and play with toys. All of these things spark the imagination of the young person and provide tons of happiness for the children and parents as well. Customer relationships. The relationship to the customer is basically the same and transactional. The customer provides money, and in the return, they receive a ticket to the performance. There is limited personal attention with either organization with their customers. With Circus du Soleil, you have a better chance of repeat transactions within a year since there are multiple shows that are playing. The traditional circus is more likely to be a once-a-year transaction, up until the kids outgrow the entertainment style. Customer segments. These organizations are targeting very different audiences. Circus du Soleil wants to focus on adults, the target group who attend other live art like Broadway and theater and opera. They enjoy performance art and dance. They also have higher income and can afford to partake in luxuries like shows and trips to major cities and tourist attractions. Ringling Brothers is all about the kids and adults with kids. They are targeting nostalgic parents who remember going to circus themselves as a kid and make the experience a family tradition. They cater to those who don't want to go far for the experience, and they bring the show to your hometown. Since the children are the focus, they cater to types of entertainment that is casual and lighthearted. Their ticket prices are kept down low to accommodate all income level families. Let's dive into how they deliver their products. The traditional circus is known for traveling the country, primarily on train, to perform a show in a different city. There is a single show presented each time with similar formatting from year to year, with star performers and tricks. Tickets are sold online and at the door. Advertisement when the circus is coming into town is highly promoted on radio and local television stations. Often stations and local businesses run promotional events and provide coupons for reduced fare. Circus du Soleil has unique themed performances with single storylines performed in different venues simultaneously. Currently in Las Vegas, there are 6 unique themed shows running. They are unique in all things. They entertain themes spanning across music and theatrical genres. If you're unable to catch all performances during your trip, don't worry, since they are running year-round and you can buy a ticket for a future trip. Circus du Soleil also manages ticket sales, but focuses on online bookings, which are often sold out quickly. Radio and TV advertisement, but the focus is more toward corporate sponsors. Moving back to the left side of the canvas, let's look at the key resources. Similarly, they each have acrobats, set designers, creative visuals and backdrops, and fantastic costumes for their performers. Here is where they're different. Ringling Brothers has animal talent that cannot be seen in many places, and they have star performers that draw repeat crowds and customers. Circus du Soleil has creative storylines and directors to manage the theatrical presentation and choreography. They have advanced lighting and sound technicians to execute the music and set the mood. Cost structures. Both models have to pay for their employees, facilities, and marketing. The expenses needed to run these models are vastly different, mainly due to the cost of maintaining the large animals. The cost to house, feed, hire specialized veterinarians and trainers for all of the animals are extremely expensive. And then both the traditional and modern circus must maintain skilled performers, set designers, lighting and sound, choreographers, and other employees who support the production. The theatrical elements of the Circus du Soleil bring more focus on the supporting elements of the show surrounding the performers, so those teams become much more important and impactful to the overall performance. Then they need to manage their facilities. In more recent days of Ringling Brothers, they have retired the pop-up tent and were setting up performances for indoor spaces like sporting arenas and concert halls. Utilizing these locations was a necessary expense for the weeks of performance. On the other hand, the Circus du Soleil has entered into long-term partnerships with their venues, so the burden of maintaining the location is a shared responsibility. They both share the need for marketing and sales expense in order to get the word out for their productions. Arguably, the traditional model is a bit more in need of marketing due to the time sensitiveness of all the projects and the fact that each city will need to be addressed separately. Circus du Soleil doesn't need as much selling, and the brand itself goes a long way, and word-of-mouth advertisement helps drive people and even corporations to their shows. Revenue streams. How they make money may be the biggest difference in their business model. Both elements have ticket sales and retailing souvenirs. Traditional circus have fairly low ticket prices and strives to get lots of people to their shows through promotions. Since they cater to families with kids, children ticket prices are generally less. Where the circus makes the majority of its revenue is through the concession sales. The hot dogs, popcorn, cotton candy, and soda that are sold at a premium cost. The model is similar to how a baseball game or sporting event concessions work. Circus du Soleil, in comparison, charges a premium for the ticket. It removes the gimmicks and the concessions. Souvenirs. These become more important in the traditional circus model. Novelty toys, add-on experience like face painting and pictures with the clowns, all for an upcharge, help to drive up the average cost of a visit. Circus du Soleil does offer gift shop items with licensed apparel and mementos, but all of these do not represent a significant percentage of their revenue. Lessons learned. Circus du Soleil has recreated an entirely new circus business model. They were able to capitalize and recognize some of the key industry shifts and make appropriate variations from the traditional to create their own productive model. With political and social pressures surrounding animal activism and regulations, their decision to remove animals from their shows put them in a better place from a cost perspective, and then they were able to attract a broader audience. Children's tastes and performances moved more toward technology and less about performance. The Circus du Soleil chose to lose the comedy and the humor and present a mix between theater and street performance to connect with adult customers. By making these changes, they removed themselves from the competition within the traditional circus arena and placed themselves in their own differentiation area of an empty competition. From this case study, we learn a lot about the key principles about differentiation and should apply these concepts in the future. It is not necessary to reinvent the wheel, but smart modifications can mean the difference in competing in an overcrowded market or a red ocean and having free reign and being a leader within your own blue ocean. In conclusion, it is imperative to take careful considerations on areas that can be eliminated, reduced, elevated from an existing model, and then finally look for elements that can be added or created that currently isn't a part of the existing model that adds that special something.